Hello, my friend. Take a moment. Just breathe. Feel the air coming in and going out. Feel your body here, right now. You are safe, you are calm, and you are exactly where you need to be. Maybe you are sitting in your favorite chair. Maybe you are lying in bed. Maybe you have a warm cup of tea beside you. The world outside can wait. Right now, this time is yours. Before we begin, let's do something simple together. Close your eyes if you want. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it go. One more time. Breathe in and out. Good. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt your heart beat fast for no reason? Have you ever felt afraid, but you did not know why? Maybe you were lying in bed at night. Everything was quiet. You were safe. But suddenly, your heart started to race. Your hands felt wet. You could not breathe easily. Or maybe you were sitting in class. The teacher asked you a question. Your face became hot. Your stomach felt strange. You wanted to run away. This feeling has a name. It is called panic. Panic is when your body acts like you are in danger, but you are not. It is like a fire alarm that rings when there is no fire. Why does this happen? Why does your brain trick you into panic? Today, we are going on a journey together. A gentle journey. We are going inside your head. We are going to meet the oldest part of your brain. The part that has kept humans alive for millions of years. The part that still lives inside you right now. And we are going to discover why it sometimes lies to you. So keep breathing, keep relaxing, keep that warm cup close. This is the story of why your brain tricks you into panic. Imagine you are living thousands of years ago. You are walking through a forest. The air is cool. Birds are singing. You are looking for food to bring back to your family. Suddenly, you hear something. A sound in the trees. A loud crack. What do? You do not think. You do not ask questions. You do not say, I wonder what that noise was. No, your body moves before your mind can think. Your heart beats faster. Your breathing gets quick. Your eyes look everywhere. Your body is ready to run or to fight. This is called the fight or flight response, and it kept our ancestors alive. If that sound was a dangerous animal, a lion, a bear, a snake, the people who ran fast lived. The people who stopped to think did not. So, over millions of years, humans developed a powerful system inside their bodies. A system that could react in a fraction of a second. A system that did not wait for thinking. A system that said, danger, run first, ask questions later. This system is still inside you today. Scientists call it the amygdala. It is a small part of your brain, shaped like an almond. It is small, but it is very, very powerful. The amygdala is like a guard that never sleeps. Every second of every day, it watches, it listens, it waits for danger. And when it sees something dangerous, it sounds the alarm. But here is the problem. The amygdala is very old. It is not smart like the front part of your brain, the part that thinks, plans, and understands. The amygdala is simple. It only knows one thing: danger. Run, now. And sometimes it makes mistakes. Let me tell you about a man named Michael. Michael was walking home one night. It was dark. The street was quiet. He was tired and wanted to get home quickly. Suddenly, he saw something on the ground. A long, dark shape. It looked like a snake. Michael's heart jumped. His body froze. He could not move. He could not breathe. His brain was screaming, snake, snake, danger. But then he looked again. It was not a snake. It was just a stick. A long, dark stick. Nothing dangerous at all. Michael laughed at himself. He felt silly. Why did he get so scared over a stick? But here is the truth. Michael's amygdala did not know it was a stick. It saw a long, dark shape. And in the old world, a long, dark shape could mean death. So the amygdala did its job. It sounded the alarm. It kept Michael safe, just in case. This happens to all of us. You see a shadow at night. You hear a noise in the house. Your phone rings late at night. Someone looks at you the wrong way, and suddenly your heart is racing. Your hands are shaking. You feel panic. But there is no lion. There is no bear. There is no danger. Your brain tricked you. Why? Because your amygdala would rather be wrong 100 times than miss a real danger once. Think about it this way. If your amygdala sees a stick and thinks it is a snake, what happens? You feel scared for a moment. Then you laugh. No problem. But if your amygdala sees a real snake and thinks it is a stick, what happens? You do not run. The snake bites you. You could die. So the amygdala has a rule. When in doubt, panic. It is better to panic at a stick 100 times than to miss a snake once. This kept our ancestors alive. But in the modern world, it causes problems. Because in the modern world, the snakes are gone. But the amygdala does not know that. Today, the things that scare us are different. We do not worry about lions and bears. We worry about messages, about work, about money, about what people think of us. But the amygdala does not understand the difference. When your boss sends you an angry email, your amygdala sees danger. When a friend does not text you back, your amygdala sees danger. When you have to speak in front of people, your amygdala sees danger. And it does the same thing it did thousands of years ago. It sounds the alarm. It makes your heart beat fast. It makes your hands shake. It makes you want to run away. But you cannot run away from an email. You cannot fight a text message. So the panic stays inside you. It has nowhere to go. And that is when your brain tricks you the most. Let me tell you about a woman named Sarah. Sarah was a student. She had a big exam in 1 week. She knew she needed to study. But every time she opened her book, she felt strange. Her stomach hurt. Her head ached. Her heart raced. So she closed the book. She watched TV instead. She felt better. But the next day, the same thing happened. Open book. Stomach hurts. Close book. Watch TV. Days passed. Sarah did not study. The exam was getting closer. And then, one night, Sarah could not sleep. Her mind was full of thoughts. What if I fail? What if I am not smart enough? What if everyone laughs at me? Her heart was pounding. She could not breathe. She felt like something terrible was going to happen. But nothing was happening. She was lying in her bed, in her safe room, in her safe home. There was no danger. So why did she feel so afraid? Because Sarah's amygdala did not understand the difference between a lion and an exam. To the old brain, a deadline is a predator. A difficult conversation is a fight. The fear of failing is the fear of being left alone in the wild, which, thousands of years ago, meant death. So Sarah's amygdala did what it always does. It sounded the alarm. It made her panic, but the panic did not help her. It only made things worse. This is the trick. The brain tries to protect you, but sometimes the protection becomes the problem. So what can we do? How do we stop the brain from tricking us? The answer is not to fight the amygdala. You cannot fight it. It is too old, too fast, too powerful. But you can learn to work with it. Let me tell you about a man named James. James was afraid of flying. Every time he got on a plane, his heart raced. His hands got sweaty. He felt like he was going to die. He knew it was not logical. He knew planes were safe, but his body did not care. One day, a friend told him something that changed everything. The friend said, "James, your amygdala is trying to protect you. It sees the plane, and it thinks, big metal bird, not safe. We are too high. We are going to die. It is doing its job. It is trying to keep you alive. But here is the thing," the friend said. "Your amygdala is like a small child. You cannot yell at it. You cannot fight it. You have to be kind to it." James did not understand. Kind to my brain? Yes, the friend said. When you feel the fear, do not fight it. Do not say, "Stop being scared." Say this instead: "Thank you for trying to protect me. I know you are scared, but we are safe. The plane is safe. We will be okay." James tried it. The next time he flew, he felt the fear begin. His heart started to race. But instead of fighting, he took a deep breath. He put his hand on his chest. And he said quietly, "It's okay. Thank you for keeping me safe. But we are okay. We are safe." And slowly, the fear went down. It did not disappear completely, but it got smaller. It got quieter. Because James learned something important. You cannot stop the feeling, but you can change how you respond to it. This works for all kinds of fear. When you feel panic before a test, take a deep breath. Say to yourself, "This is just my amygdala. It is trying to protect me. But I am safe. I have studied. I am ready." When you feel your heart race before a difficult conversation, stop for a moment. Put your hand on your heart. Breathe slowly. Say, "I am safe. This is not a lion. This is just a conversation. I can do this." When you wake up at 3 a.m. with a mind full of worries, do not fight the thoughts. Just notice them. Say, "Hello, amygdala. I know you are worried, but right now, in this moment, I am safe. I am in my bed. Nothing is chasing me. We can talk about this in the morning." This is called self-compassion. It means being kind to yourself. It means treating your brain like a friend who is scared, not like an enemy who is wrong. And it works. Because the amygdala, that small almond in your brain, is not your enemy. It is your protector. It has kept humans alive for millions of years. It loves you. It wants you to be safe. Sometimes it just gets a little confused. And when that happens, you can help it. You can be the calm voice that says, "It's okay. We are safe." So here is what we have learned today. Your brain tricks you into panic because it is old, because it was built for a different world, because it would rather be wrong 100 times than miss a real danger once. The panic you feel before a test, before a conversation, before a big moment, that is not weakness, that is not failure. That is your brain trying to keep you alive. The problem is, the lions are gone, but the amygdala does not know that. So the next time you feel panic for no reason, remember this story. Remember Michael and the stick. Remember Sarah and her exam. Remember James and the plane. Remember that you are not broken. You are not crazy. You are human. You have an ancient brain inside your head. A brain that loves you so much, it will sound the alarm at a stick, just in case it is a snake. And when that happens, you can do one simple thing. Take a deep breath. Put your hand on your heart and say, "Thank you for protecting me. But right now, in this moment, I am safe." Because most of the time, you really are. When you learn English, sometimes you might feel panic too. Maybe you try to speak, and the words do not come. Maybe you listen, and everything sounds too fast. Your heart races. Your face gets hot. You want to run away. That is just your amygdala again. It sees English as a danger. It wants to protect you. But English is not a lion. English is just a language. You are safe. So next time you feel panic when learning English, take a deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. Say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I am safe. I am learning, and every day I get a little better." Because you are doing something brave. You are learning a new way to speak, to think, to connect with the world. That is not dangerous. That is beautiful. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, check your phone, stretch your body, or make your coffee. Take a moment. Feel your breath. Feel your heart. Feel how amazing your body is, how it works every second to keep you alive. And if panic comes, as it does for all of us, do not fight it. Just smile and say, "Hello, old friend. I know you are trying to help, but we are safe. Let's breathe together." Because the brain that tricks you into panic is the same brain that loves you enough to try. And that, maybe, is something beautiful. Thank you for listening to this story today. I hope it helped you understand yourself a little better. I hope it helps you with your English learning too. If you like this story, please give it a like. It helps more people find our channel. If you want to hear more stories like this, please subscribe. Your support helps us create more content for your English journey. And if you have ideas for other stories about the brain, about history, about anything, please leave a comment below. I would love to know what you want to learn next. Until next time, my friend, keep breathing, keep learning, keep being kind to yourself. And remember, you are safe, you are strong, and you are doing a wonderful job. See you soon.